Hey YouTube, I'm Jolly Gunner, and I decided to make a comic book collections video. After seeing a few on YouTube, I decided, hey, why not, However, I do not have as large a collection as most of the people on YouTube, and I don't have as much, consequences as a lot of people. I do have a few gaps, but I am trying to complete my sets. So yeah, here we go. First of all, my favorite superhero by far is probably Spider-Man, and I don't know, he's pretty much the first comic book I ever held was a Spider-Man comic book. I think it was an Amazing Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man #1 was probably the first thing I've ever held, and it was on a free comic book day that my cousin picked up for me. But after seeing a few videos, I decided to get motivated on YouTube, and I started collecting my own comic books. And starting off with Spectacular Spider-Man, which was Volume 1 of the 1970s, 1984. Here we have Spectacular Spider-Man Annual number 8, Spectacular Spider-Man Annual number 9 with Cloak and Dagger. And I know that it's not very wise to keep your comic books inside a binder because they might get damaged after a few years, I don't know. But yes, I am trying to get a box. At my local comic book store, they sell them there. I haven't really looked into it that much to see how much they cost, but I'm definitely going to look into it, and if you fully advise I use it, put a comment. Alright, Peter Parker and the Spectacular Spider-Man number 11. Now this issue, probably the rarest in my collection. I think it's $180, I believe. Not too sure why. It's definitely not the first appearance of Medusa, so I don't know what it is. I probably need to look more into it. Peter Parker the Spectacular Spider-Man number 13. 19. So yeah, so you can see I have a few gaps. 65, big gap right there. But I am trying to complete them. 77. 94, and I think yeah, Serio. 95. Now this series with Cloak and Dagger and Silvermane, I believe his name was. Was it Silvermane? Yes, Silvermane, which is him right there. It was an outstanding consequence series. I have all 4 out of the whole set of this series, which is all of them featuring Cloak and Dagger. Spectacular Spider-Man 97, number 100, number 101, 104, 105. And here we have another gap up to 110, so I'm missing 5 in between there. 111. And here we go, another gap, 134. Now here, this is mainly where luckily I've been able to be completing the sets, and I've had a lot of consequences in this one. In fact, I think I'm just missing 1 out of the entire from 134. Not on, but for a few good amount, I think like 30 or 40 comics, I'm not too sure. So I have 134 of the 3-part series of Sin Eater. 135, 136, 37, 38, 38. Here we go, Tombstone. Now this is mainly when Tombstone started taking place in Spectacular Spider-Man. He was a big influence on this series, huge influence. Definitely a very gruesome foe for Spider-Man and Joe Robertson, which you find out later on why, the whole deal with him. Punisher. And then 144. Now this is the first, I think this is the only one the gap that I'll have in amounts, I'm not too sure. But I have 144 and then 146. So I know for a fact that the one following this issue was also to do with the Boomerang, but I don't know. I looked up what happens next, so I will try to find that issue. 146. Now this is where the series of Inferno, as you can see, begins right there. I think it goes on for a few good amounts. 47. And that ends there. 49. Great edition. Well, this is when Joe Robertson gets sent to jail for a crime he did not commit. He's actually framed by Tombstone on purpose. There you have it. Looks to have it. They end up being room next to each other. Again, Tombstone. They used him a lot in this issue, and this all has to do with the same problem that's featuring Joe Robertson. And 55. See, there you have him again. Triumph of Tombstone. I'm gonna have 156 and 157, and then here on out I think there's 237 comics. That's where I'll be filling in the blanks. I'm really looking forward to doing so because I really like these issues, and I'll definitely be filling them up again. So we'll move on. Next show I have it was a small DC comic book called Gunfire. A lot of people haven't heard of them, but it was really good, and I suggest you all check them out. It was a really good issue to have. Like, I have a good amount. I think I have to number 11. I don't know, but they were really good, really good. And here we go. Power Pack. This was like, I think the first superhero team featuring a bunch of kids. I think they're all like 11 years old. It's not the best when it comes to enjoying an actual action-packed comic, but it's really good. It's a great artwork and great storyline. It's pretty funny. But yeah. I actually got this for my little sister, so I have a few in there about them. So yeah, that's that. And then here I have the next binder. Probably my favorite. This is not probably for sure. This is my favorite superhero team ever, and it's Alpha Flight, the first Canadian super team. I have annual issue number 1. Actually, I have here the very first Alpha Flight number 1, the first issue. Great comics. Alpha Flight Annual number 2. 21. Here I do have a few gaps. It was like, this is pretty much when I started off, though, so it didn't really matter much. I actually this is my favorite comic ever. The action that goes on in this comic book is probably the best ever, which is Alpha Flight number 35. I actually have 2, and I'll be doing a giveaway to whoever. I'll probably put some like a contest, and whoever wins will get this, and along with another issue. 130, no, 36, 37, 38. These people actually, the Alpha Flight originated straight from the books of the X-Men because of Wolverine, since we all know Wolverine's the first Canadian superhero in Marvel. Hope many people know that.